Okie dokie. I do believe we are live, and it's shocking that I remember how to get on live since it's been so long. But, it's life. So I'm going to wait a few minutes for some of the chatters to get in the box here with me live before I take off here. So wait till somebody says hi, make sure they can hear me, and then we'll get going. Hey, Jan. Hey, Sherry. Hello. For some reason, SIRI thought I was talking to her and came up on my computer. Hey, Joan, Christy, welcome. I am going to try. I had to run upstairs at the last minute and get my reading glasses out of the office. My new glasses aren't worth a crap at a desk trying to do any kind of work. So, anywho, couple things. I'm going to play with this paper. Sherry Cooksley, who's here in chat with us, sent this to some of the girls and said they had a free offer to try some of their papers, which I say is much like Yupo, but they have different. So here's there's the website, and we got 2 sheets each of 5, 8, 10, 14 mil, and one of poly slate. There's different sizes, I think, that you can order. I just ordered whatever came up and was in a hurry, like usual. And I got all 8.5 by 11, which is fine with me. Here's just some more information about the paper. And here are the samples. You can't hardly destroy it. They have their logos on the paper. So, boo-hoo, we'll just have to use the back if you really want to keep it for something. Hey, Dot. So I want to play with these I want to see how they act with watercolor and alcohol inks and acrylic paint on the gel plate. So we will play with these in a little bit. But you got, what did I say? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pieces of the paper. And the paper's not cheap. I'll just say that. But we'll see if it's any use to our community. We'll put this aside. Let me turn this other overhead light on. It's been so long since I streamed. I got to figure out how to set up again. Lordy. So I got the newest Lisilinka set of watercolors. Their packaging has changed a little bit. And I've already been in mine, so I try to put it back together. Yours will be a little bit more neatly organized. But this is a new flyer for their collection that they include, and all their links to where you can find them. And here are all their, what is that? Oh, that's a piece of tape I stuck on there, not knowing it would impede my demonstration. Shows all the sets of 7, the names of them, their tutorial sets, their single colors, everything's laid out in a brochure telling you about those. And then you get this envelope. Oh, cool, Jan. Swatch cards. All right. And remember, you used to get a little velvet bag with their water dropper bottle in it. So this is in here. I love that how everything's black in here. You know what? I might try to spray these gold or something and do something with those. We'll see. I'm going to set that on the side. So I hope everybody's doing well and didn't have too much damage from the storm. We had a a lot of rain and coastal flooding here yesterday. My brother was actually driving around in our old neighborhood where my mom's house was, and there was water all coming down the street and coming up from the back of the creek into the yard. So here is the new, let me zoom in a little bit. These are like shockingly vivid. This new set is called Tropical Sunset. I like how they have that hollow print on everything that they do include in here. And then here is the names of the colors. Can I get them to come in? Focus. Come on, baby. Work with mother. There we go. So they're all named. And I like how they have the magnets showing on here, so you know how to orient them, because here's the magnet and here's the magnet, which I'll show you in the box. So then you know which one's which. Look at these bad boys. So there's, see the magnets at the top and bottom of the palette. And let's see what we got here. See if I can give you a good look at these. We will swatch them. These are, for those of you who may not be familiar with Lisilinka watercolors, they're all metallics. Some have just a hollow metallic in them where it's multicolors. Hey, Metallic Watercolors by Lisilinka. There they are in chat. So if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them directly. But these are the best. I've used a lot, and those of you who have been around here know that I've used a lot. These are the best. And one of my favorite things about these is that they work as well on white watercolor paper as they do on black watercolor, black whatever, over black watercolors to add a little bit. They, you know, some don't, some watercolors look completely different, or on white, they hardly show up, and they show up usually with like a, when you turn them on an angle. Welcome, Alex. These don't do that. So we'll swatch those. And here is the little water dropper bottle, which is great to have. Fill it up with water. It has a push button where you can put one drop on each palette to get it kind of lubed up, ready to go. But instead of the separate velvet bag now, it's all in this little format, which I think is really nice. And Alex, I love the swatch cards and the brochure. Everything is such always beautiful presentation with you guys. I showed this a little bit earlier. So I'm going to put this aside right there, and this aside. I keep these boxes. I take the foam out of them and then use them for all different kind of supplies in these boxes. They're really nice, heavy duty, got a little magnet on them to keep them shut. So let me, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some water in here, and I'm going to get these juiced up for now while I get some of this other stuff off my desk. And so Alex doesn't have to wait till the very end. I'll go ahead and get these swatched while he is here with us. And we can do this other stuff later after that, playing with the Terra slate paper and showing some collages I did at my little retreat that we do every year, and some papers that I made while I had the room and the space to dry everything out, let it lay there and dry. Nancy B. Hey, Nancy. Oh, thanks. It's been a while. I'm hoping to get back to some kind of a regular schedule here. Oh, I got to show you guys these too. Xandra told us about these at the retreat, and everybody was going to their phones to get on Amazon to order them. I'll show you these too. Get some elbow room here. And let me get you zoomed in again. Zoom in, zoom out. Hold on to your lunch, people. Hey, Debbie. It's good to see you. We got a little bit of reprieve in the 100+ heat index month of July. That storm brought in a little bit cooler weather. Not that much cooler, but a little. So I'm just going to put 1 drop on each one of these pans. I love this little dispenser here. And then we're just going to let those sit aside for a couple minutes and let them get kind of juiced up and ready to go. And this, I'm going to cut this out and tape it to the bottom of this, I think. So the top color, this orange is Sunset, Watermelon, Passion Fruit, Paradise, Caribbean, Lagoon, and in the center is Sunrise. They are beauteous. So let me grab a piece of, I'm just going to grab this black bond paper. That's what I usually use when I swatch these. Where did I move my? Use this one. I moved all my watercolor brushes just out of reach. I think I'll use this silver one here. Silver brand, not silver brush. Let me get some more water in here. Okay. And then I'm going to get a watercolor pad ready to go. Okay. This is Arch's 140-pound cold press. And we'll put these side by side, and we'll do the black and we'll do the white at the same time. Can you guys see that? I need to pop out just a little. Oop, out. Wrong way. Hey, Claire. All right. Get my brush lubed up here a little bit. And we'll just start at the top and go around the horn here. You see they're looking good here. Just that 1 drop on there. Plus the wet of your brush really gets them started. And they just kind of stay within this little hexagon pan. It doesn't run all over. Usually, I have had them run all over the place. Hey, Tori, welcome. Oh, mercy. Some of these will be great fall colors. This sunset would make a good pumpkin for sure. I'll hold these up and let you see how they look when they dry. See what I mean? How these are on the white paper as well as the black. And some of them that are, of course, if there's any shifting colors. I don't think there are any shifters in here. But I do have some of the Lisilinka palettes that do have shifting colors in them. And of course, they will show up different against a black background. That's the beauty of a color shifter. This one is the Watermelon. This is a really pretty pinky red color. This isn't watercolor paper, by the way. This is just bond paper, but it's a nice saturated black. So I like to use that when I swatch metallic watercolors. That's a really pretty color. Now, Alex, off the top of my head, I'm not that familiar with these yet. When I put a light on them, we'll all be able to see. But are these all holographic or some that are just regular metallics with some holographics? What is the mix of these? This one is passion fruit. I think I see a little holographic in some of these. No shifters, no no holographic. Okay. Oh, you know what? Is it the same in some of these? Do you have the same color metallic pigment as the pigment of the paint? The light looked like it was picking up something there, but we all know my lights need help. Oh man, that's nice. These are beauty mists. Let me try to pull this over a little bit. Oh, wow. So these are now available at lisilinka.com. And it's the new latest set called Tropical Sunset? Yes, Tropical Sunset. The hollow pigments make the colors a bit grayish, and we want them to be as vibrant as possible. Many pigments in there are going in the direction of polar night. Oh my gosh, polar night. Hey Z, polar night is one of my absolute favorites. It is a brilliant turquoise, and I think the first color I ever bought. Let me see if I can open my drawer here and find it. Where the heck is it? No, that's the Christmas one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I thought I had it as a single, and I may have at one time. Alex, remember when I had to go back and combine them back to that's the Northern Nights set, right? Has the this is the one he's talking about. Oh my god. One of my favorites. I could eat it. Don't eat it, but I could. I really could. Hang on one second. That might be an important call, but I'm going to try to let him know. All right. So, yes, that's out of the Northern Nights set, or Northern Lights. Oh, there, I put. Oh, yeah. Yep. Northern Lights. Yummy. Good Lord. Come on, not now. Okay. Let me keep going while I can. Okay, and then now we're going to go down here. This one is called Paradise. It's a really pretty deep purpley blue. Yes, it is. Wow. Okay. Polar Nightshade goes right between Lagoon and Caribbean. These two. Let me set it up there. Actually, I can swatch this one too. Oh, yeah. Look at that. They are, wait till I hold them up, Joan. And I know you've seen a lot of these before. But wait till I hold them up. Okay, so now we're going to Caribbean. Xandra. Ah, you know, I this one, and I mean, you know, the purples. I love the purples, but this, and I'm not just saying this because they're Lisilinka or because Alex is here. I'm not generally a warm color person. As you guys know, I always go to the cool colors. But these, as they're drying even, are better. They're stunning. Stunning. These glasses. I'm telling you, I've had more trouble getting new glasses done. I'm also going through dry eye treatments with a new treatment. It's a light called IPL. It's like a red light therapy that they put these goggles on you and then they hit you around the, what do they call it? Like around from your outer eye on the upper bone of your cheek where the glands are that feed your eye the oil. Am I in the right one? Yeah. Um, and it stimulates those glands to expel any thick oil that's causing you to have dry eye symptoms. So I've had 3 treatments already. Well, they should have told me. Oh, yeah, that jellyfish was beautiful. They should have told me to wait until my treatments are over to get fitted and refracted for new prescription for glasses. And here we are. So I'm having about the 4th set of lenses put in my glasses that are progressive that I should be able to sit here at my desk and work with, you know, with the reading level and the, not distance, but, you know, arm's length. But I can't. So I ran upstairs, got my old glasses with that have the little magnets on them where I can snap on sunglasses or snap on readers. So these have my readers in them. So I'm doing a little bit better with these, but I'm surprised the last ones aren't in yet. They text me when they're in. I usually go over within an hour or so and they cut them and fit them to my frames and I'm out of there. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not thrilled so far. I like the frames, but she basically read the old one with new colors. And then redid the old one with new. Oh, okay. You think this is Lizzie's new favorite set? I can see that. Although I am a fan of shifters. I don't really paint anything that's real life that is, you know, a tree of life. It's all abstract. And that's as far as my talent will go. So I kind of like the shifters and I forget what this set was called. But those, oh, Galaxy Shifters. Hello, lover. I hope she's coming out with more of those. And then this set, the Summer Lovin', that's one of my favorite and most used sets. As you can see, that's got some shifters in there. But I love Once Upon a Time. Again, hello, one of my favorites. You can see what I'm drawn to. But I like just the standard gold, silver, copper, bronze type colors as well. Let's just say I like them all. Which we had to stop selling the Summer Love. Oops. Let's forget you saw that. Forget the Summer Lovin' set. Sorry about that. Slide your paper up. Got to keep an eye on me, Jan. Okay, so there are the first 7. And I'm gonna do this Polar Nights just so you turquoise teal lovers can see what Alex was talking about this falls between these two shades above it. All right. Yeah, I know that different companies, and I don't know if this is the reason, Alex, about if you're just having trouble getting certain pigments again. I know there are other companies that I buy granulating pigments from that are having that trouble with not being able to get exactly the same pigment. And they always the granulating colors are multiple colors mixed into one new granulating color. So that throws off those mixes if they don't get the exact same thing again. And that has happened. All right, I don't want to turn these too quick. That one's almost dry though. That's another thing about this paper. It dries pretty quickly. Now let me try to use the right kind of light here to show you what we got going on here. Hang on, let's try to go in order. So that's the Sunset, the orangey one, in the upper left. And then the Watermelon. That's not really showing very good though. Hang on, let me try to control this from flopping a little bit more. And then Passion Fruit. Look at that pink Z. And then Paradise. I mean, they are so shimmery. I love them. And then the Caribbean. It's almost too much light that it just goes crazy with the reflection. Oh my God, hang on. Hey, I'm streaming live. Is everything okay? Okay. Okay, bye. Jeez, that's 3. Been on here for what, half an hour? Oh, God bless me. Okay, so that was the Paradise, the purpley blue one. And the next is Caribbean. And yes, it is. They are so reflective that it's hard with my pitiful lighting here to really get it right. And that one is Lagoon. And then the center color is Sunrise. Sunrise. And that's a true yellowy gold. Let me try it without that light and see what you see. And then the one on the bottom here, that's the Polar Nights. Polar Night? Yeah, Polar Night. That kind of goes in between those two above it. And you can see where that's exactly where it falls. So now on the white Arches paper, here you go to Sunset. Watermelon. Look at that glitter, Xandra. Passion fruit. Oh, God. Paradise. I can't stand it. I love them all. Paradise. Caribbean. Lagoon. Sunrise. And then here's the Polar Night again. That one's still a little wet. That goes between those two. You can't hate that, people. You just can't hate that. Oh my gosh. I know. And, you know, a lot of metallic colors, when you get them on white and you go to turn them, you see gray or like a taupey brown color when it shifts. And that's true of, you know, I got Xandra and I, gosh, it's been a number of years ago now that we ordered some Tokyo pigment powders and made our own watercolors. And they're not cheap pigments. And some of those shift like that, where you know, they look really cool and you turn them and then I was like, it's baby poop brown. What is up with that? So I really appreciate these. Do not do that. But that is a beautiful set. What does he only use this white paper? So if the paint's not covering, then it's right. Exactly. Yep. Very high quality. The packaging is impressive. The colors are outstanding and top-notch metallic watercolors. And I've tried all the big name brands. And not to poo-poo anybody, I still have them. I like them. But these are the best. Unequaled for anything I've ever tried. So, I'll let these sit over here. I like to let them dry out before I put the lids back on them and store them. I like to let them air dry. So I'm going to sit those on the side. I'm going to move this one back in the drawer out of the way and let that stay open in the drawer. And let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna use these two again, actually, when I play with this paper. Let me shift my drawers around here. Gosh, look at those. I mean, that's so vivid. And that's just on this black bond paper. You can see where it makes the paper pucker from the water. It's not watercolor paper. Alex, thanks for popping in. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure you'll do really well with this set. So what next? What next? So, you know, I had my little retreat last week in July. It was fabuloso as usual. We had a great time. And I'll show you a couple of things that I did there. I didn't get a lot done because I'm usually running around yapping the whole time. But, you know, that's what you do. Are the label stickers. This one, Z? No. No, I'm just going to cut it in this shape and tape it on the bottom like I did my other ones. So I did a couple collage. Look at what's in here, Z. That's from years and years ago when I took a Jane class. I was looking for a new book to take with me to the retreat to collage in. I thought I had another, what's that brand? I want to say, shoot, Arteza. I thought I had another Arteza journal, but I did not. But this, I used finally one of the calendar days. It was actually the day, July 24th, when my retreat started, from the Artist Almanac calendar. Take care, Alex. Thank you. In the envelope should be the stickers for. Oh, hang on. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. They are, Z. These are stickers for the back of every one of the pans. Love that. And the name. See, you're smarter than I am again. I thought you meant that one there. That's perfect. Hey, Charmaine. Yes, you are correct. So, forgot what I was saying. But anyway, this is one of the collages that was in the Artistic Almanac calendar. I pulled out the day we started at the retreat. And just, this is a piece of fabric that was wrapped around something that Bonnie gifted me. This was a piece of handmade paper that I bought. This is handmade paper. Of course, my black and white stripes, I do those just for Dot, even when she's not around. This was a jelly print. You can see some of the circly celestial shapes in there. And this was one of Robin's printables that I circle punched and burnt holes in it so you can see the little stripes of the paper behind it punching through. And this was, I don't know who gave me this. I'm suspecting maybe Bonnie had this in something. Couple little stencil marks with bronze through it to get a little shine in there. You know, I got to have a little shine. So that's one that I did. I really like this one. This is a combination of papers that Robin gave us and stamps Robin gave us. This was part of my gift from Bonnie. It was like a card holder, kind of a pocket. It's 3-dimensional. And I can't remember who gave it. Does anybody remember who gave us this paper? I had this paper years ago, ran out, and now I got another piece and love it. But Robin, this is a piece of Robin's, one of the papers that she gave us. Let me get out of here. Wrong way. Where she had scripted on it, and where she gave us each an envelope of hundreds of canceled postage stamps from all over. So those were some of her stamps that she gave us. And that's just a stamp, a chop on the paper. But these stamps were really cool. Come on, Mama. There we go. Oh, I thought I had another one up there, but I guess I don't. And this one, this was a couple different papers. So this strip right here, this gray, white, and black strip that you can see, this is a piece of what do I want to call adding machine tape, you know, cash register tape in the roll, where Robin took it and dyed it with some wash down sumi, that it's darker on this side, just a gray wash on this side, and then a white streak in the middle, which was awesome. These papers, this is a piece of braille that I did in that one bath where I dyed papers and had black beans thrown in there. Remember they sprouted? Yeah, well, that's a piece of that paper. This is a piece that I took out of this bath as well. And I think Donna did the momigami to it and got it all softened up. And it's a strip of that. And this was a piece Bonnie gave us. It was like practice paper. And of course, Bonnie, genius that she is, she's going over tracing it with a black marker. So I did some with a black marker and a gold marker. These were some of Robin's art foamy stamps down here with the bronze. And this piece of that whimsy handmade paper that's all the white circles that are real sheer, that you can see these were all in the same bath with the sprouted black beans. But I love the braille. I don't remember who gave me the braille paper. I picked up a little metallic in there. There's a little metallic down this little strip here that was on that paper. And this is just a piece of handmade paper. But I love this adding machine tape, how it came out. And of course, Bonnie and Robin, they went, maybe somebody else did too, went back and coffee stained this. Oh, Big Girl's going to be making a roll or two of that. I can tell you that much. And here's part of one of those. So you can see the spots where the beans were. That's what the polka dots are on there. These circles were, what's it called? Bubble wrap. Most of those were bubble wrap. These here, that's where a bean was. Yeah, it makes it the black beans make it like a real washed out navy, a grayish navy. I love it. Very denim friendly. And then this one, here's another piece of that I had left. This was from an old jelly print I did on one of Robin's printables, handmade paper. This long piece of cash register tape I got from Bonnie when we were at Robin's retreat last November. Bonnie did a bunch of those coffee stained, and I wiped my teal paintbrush off on it and then scripted over it with gold. This was an old, one of my printables actually that I did. Another one of Robin's stamps. These stamps were fabuloso. And this was another practice sheet that Bonnie gave us. And that one, I don't know if it shows up, but that one I think I used either a gold or a bronze. Oh, you know what? That was the Jane Davenport, one of her gold markers, but it kind of looks gold and silver when you get it on certain papers. And I just had sprayed the background with the bronze paint, watered down, and let it dry. And that's what's in the background. I think that's all I did. Oh, this piece I just threw on here. This was I thought it was just an interesting piece. This is just one piece of paper that Donna had in a stack that she did the momigami process to, and it's crinkled and soft. But I just thought it was cool, and I just put it on a frame. That's a whole piece of paper underneath of it. But I just put it down there and let that be the collage. Oh, I forgot I did these. So this was a page in the pack of paper Robin gave us. This background, this brilliant reddish orange, and this washed out part was like a Rothko jelly print that Robin had done. This Xandra made and gave it to us. And then this is a watercolor Kathy Siren did, Dragonfly Smiles, Kathy. She did a little, this was clipped to one of her gifts that she gave us for trade. These pieces were excess of this, and some of Robin's stamps. And then this piece was in the navy bean bath. I mean, the black bean bath. And then just gold handmade paper over it. But there's the girl that Z made. How cute she is. And here's Kathy's little painting that she had like a tag on her part of her gift. All right, I think that's it. That's it. So that's the majority of what I got done for 4 days. That's okay. I had fun. So let's see. Oh, shoot. I got to turn those off for when I'm live, Joan. I just went back in and decided if I'm going to start streaming again, I would monetize my channel again. Um, I'll have to look and see where the setting is to cut them off while I'm live, if I can do that. Because I hate that myself. So these pens, I got two different sets. They're from Kuretake. These are fine brushes, a fine brush tip. And these are just a fine point. And let me get some ink. If we're gonna do it, we might as well really try to hose this up. Xandra's here; she can walk me through the painful parts. Let's see. Oops. What ink do I want? Xandra, will they work with metallic inks? Oh, okay. I see you got to go. Okay. She may already be gone. Maybe it says on here. Do not apply ink to both sides of the same ink reservoir. 50 to 80% is good. All right. Not sure. Well, there's one way to find out, isn't there? So here's what you get. And here's what they're called. Carapoo pen. They're empty pens. And they're by Kuretake. This one is the fine 0.4 millimeter tip. So you get 5 pens. And they're empty barrels. And that's the tip on this one. Camera's really blurry. Focus. There we go. And you get, oh, these are the caps that go on the back of the pen once you fill it, I believe. That is one strong little piece of tape right there. Lordy. Jane did use one with her gold. Try it. Okay. Yeah, if it doesn't work, I got 4 more to try. So you get these little caps to put on once you fill it, and little dots. I guess you can put a sample of the little sticker on there, what it is. And then you get these little reservoirs that you put in the ink bottle. Come on. Very good adhesive on this packaging. See you, Z. I'm telling you what, this is the stickiest packaging ever. So this is like a cottony kind of substance in a plastic little hollow tube, and then that's going to absorb the ink. So let me decide what ink I want to put in there. Yeah, we'll try this. What the hey? So this is a J. Irvine 1670, and it doesn't have any labels on it, but it's the emerald of something like Chivar or something. Emerald of something. It's a greenish blue ink with metallic goodness in there. So let's see. How bad can this be? So you take this, and I believe you just sit it in there. So where's the, oh, here's the cap. Put the cap on this. See, it's sucking that all up in there already. So I'm going to grab a paper towel, like it says. I'm going to take it out of there while I don't have to touch the ink. Let that drip a little. And then you put this into the pen cylinder. Let that drop down. Put the plug in it, which looks like it pushes a little pressure down on it. And then if you want, you can put the sticker on there. We'll get fancy with the sticker later if this works. Okay. So the tip is getting ink already. Huh. She looked like she worked. Let me grab a piece of something here. Oh, all right. Let's bring it in for this one. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. You can even go fast with that and get a good result. Now with this fine tip, can you see the metallic? Let me dry that. Very, very busy day. Sorry guys, hang on a second. We got some stuff happening in the background. And whoever wants to watch this over and leave me a message about they're not interested in that can find another channel. Thank you. Real life here, people. Shit happens. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna take my specs off and look at this and see if this fine point allows me to see the shimmer. Let's color something in like this. Now let that dry. See what happens there. Yeah, I can see the shimmer in that. I mean, it's really fine. Very fine, fine, fine. Right, you can see it in there. But this line, I think, is too fine to actually notice that. But let's do this. Let's put that one over there. And that's with the fine tip ones. Put all that stuff over there with that bag. And then this one, I want to do a brush pen. We'll do the same thing in the brush pen so we can combine it. Yeah, you can see it. Hey, Janine. All right. Now I wonder, you got to shake these because see how that's already settling in the bottom already? You got to shake them up and then it incorporates back into the ink. So these, I'm sure, would have to be shaken every time you used them. And it may or may not damage the whole works, but these were not expensive at all. So I'm not going to lose any sleep if it doesn't go well. I mean, I prefer that it would work cool. I haven't unpacked all my retreat stuff yet. My handy dandy little razor knife I keep in here is, oops, is elsewhere. Okay, so here's this. What I put on? Oh, here it is. One of those. Okay, let's do this again. Shake this bad boy up. I sent you a message, Janine, on, I think I did, on Facebook Messenger, somewhere around 2:15, 2:30-ish. That fills up pretty quickly, too. I remember Robin saying that when she was playing with one of them that Z gave her. That really fills up quickly. So let me grab that. That side down. Plug in. Cap on. Gotta talk to myself. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Huh. Did you go into my what's it called? My channel page? Sometimes Xandra does that to me. Her lives don't pop up right away, but if I go to her channel page, I can see it. Okay, so here's that. Oops, filling in already. Let's see what the difference is of this tip. This is a fine brush tip. It is a brush tip. It's bending. Oh yeah, it's different. Yeah. Now this one's not coming out as fast. Of course, it's not. I gotta let it sit a little bit longer, maybe. Let me shake her down a little bit. That kind of stutter stepped me on there. But it is a thicker line. You can see it's a little bit thicker line. I might go back and get a bigger set if I decide that I like these and I'm going to use them. I'm going to put, like in one, I'll just put Sumi ink. Oh, you know what I'm going to put in one? Oh, hold the phone, people. I'm going to try this right now. I'm going to put in some of my watered down bronze in one of those babies. You best believe it. Okay, so let's not get crazy. Focus. Oh, that one looks like it might be. Might not have should have shook it down like that. We'll see. Okay, so that's one of these. So I'm going to take this. Now, how am I going to do this? I think I'm going to take. Oh, here, look. I got this little solo cup thing here. It's probably going to make a jello shooter out of that. Hey, Pam. All right, I'm going to mix this up. If this works, it'll be worth the money. What are these pens called? They are Karapo pens by Kuretake on Amazon. Set of 5. They have different tips. All right, I'm going to get this good and mushed up here. Okay, and put this in here. Now remember, this isn't ink, this is acrylic paint. So this may harden up in the pen after the first use. It's not going up nearly as quickly as the ink, and it's starting to separate, so I'm going to try to keep twirling it. This may be one of those things you should not do. Oh, crapo, yep. Close. Don't know, just trying it now. I would imagine you could. Now, whether the alcohol is going to eat away at this little wick thing here that's pulling the ink up. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work so well. Maybe I got to water it down more. Let's go with that assumption. You know what? I'm going to roll that metallic off of that outside there because it's kind of caked up. And I'm just going to leave it in there and kind of keep stirring it. Leave it submerged, but try to keep that pigment. I don't know why I always have to figure out how I can use it for something other than what it was meant for and be successful. I like to push the envelope. See, that's mostly just the teal going up there. I think the pigment is, since it's metal pigment, might be a little too harsh. Heavy. Heavy, that's the word. Where that's metal pigment, I don't know if this is maybe mica in this one that's lighter and finer. I mean, this doesn't look like big pieces of use a pipette to how, Janine, to do what with it? All right, I'm going to go with what I got here. I think it's going to all come out turquoise. If it's fabulous, I'm going to have to burn this up all at once, I think. That'll be fun. Fill what you were trying to fill now. It's got to suck up into it. And you only want it to go like 80% full. It pulls the fluid up. See how it's going? Well, no, you can't. See how it's going up this thing. All right, we're going to just try that because I really don't think this is going to work. But a girl can dream. I thought I had a cap out here. Nope, they're all here. 4. Let's do that. And I think it's beyond shaking once it gets in there. I think whatever is in there is in there. All right, let's see what we got here. Not coming out well at all. See what I saved you guys? Yeah, I think that acrylic paint. Not. Yeah, nope. Not working. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. So we shall take that one out of the count. But anywho, that's what those little pens are. I wanted to show you guys those. Now let me get myself reassembled here. This is like Gorilla Glue on these envelopes. I don't know where the hell they got that. But I have 3 more that I can experiment with. And 4 more of these. Yeah, not so good. In my head, it was brilliant. In practice, not so much. But we are going to use this paint. And I'll use that as one of my experiments on, get those out of the way, on some of this new paper. So this I showed at the beginning. Let me pull this out again. The company's called TerraSlate. It's terraslate.com. And Sherry, who was in chat earlier, I think she's probably still here. Our friend Sherry sent a group of us this information. And there's a link once you get to the site where you can order samples for free. There, Sherry. You can order samples for free, and you can see you get 2 each of 5 mil, 8, 10, 14 mil, and of the poly slate paper, which I don't know yet what the difference is between the poly and the Terra. I think, just given the names, that I would say that the poly slate is more like UPO, and the Terra slate is maybe like Terra Skin, the paper that we use that's made out of rocks, right? And the other one's plastic. I don't know that, but that's what I'm thinking. It's not cheap paper, but this sample pack you get for free shipping. I ordered it and got a FedEx envelope on my front doorstep the next day. I think it was less than 24 hours. I don't know where this company is, but apparently they're right down the road from me. But and everybody else was getting tracking numbers immediately that did it. So you might want to try it. You get 10 sheets of paper. Here's a little write-up. You know, we don't worry about the rules. The only drawback, if there's a drawback, is that each page is logoed. But it does tell you what it is. So the Terra Slate says 100% waterproof and rip proof. This is the 5 mil. You can see it's really, you know, kind of thin, like a bond almost. Here's the other 5 mil, right? And then here's the same paper, and it says printable on both sides. And Bonnie said that she works for a garden center that supplies a lot of garden centers around the world. They're wholesalers, and they, because they're outside, have a lot of signage with this kind of paper, and she thinks that they may use, some of her customers use this kind of paper. This is the 8 mil. You can hear that's a little heavier. 10 mil, heavier, which of course it's going to be heavier. It's heavier, but I just wanted you to try to hear the difference. If not, see, you can really feel this one. This one's pretty stiff on its own right. It doesn't have as near as much flex. And this is the poly slate. This says 100-pound, 100% waterproof and rip proof, 100-pound cover matte white. Printable on both sides. They're all printable on both sides. And that's got a decent kind of an in-between 8 to 10 mil weight to it. It's called 100-pound. So I thought what we would maybe do is try to have our way with some of this and see what happens. So since this one is a little beefier, how that's separated already, I'm going to try to use some acrylic paints and inks, like I used to do those wild abstract things on UPO. Let me grab color for 2. Just went black. Oh, you know what? If we're going to do it, we might as well just freaking do it and get out the salt. Throw some salt on there. And we'll see. Now, these are smaller than the pieces I'm used to working with, so it's only a matter of time before it's all goes down. But, you know, shit happens. What are you going to do? That's twice I said it. And Gail is not here to write me up. Sherry got hers the next day in South Dakota. Oh, so apparently they have a branch over by you, too. So I'm just going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to just, oh shit, my water sprayer's packed up somewhere too. That's okay. Don't anybody panic. I'll just dump a little water on here. Let's see what happens. Just move it around a little bit. Very abstract. And let's put I shouldn't be using a watercolor brush, but look what I just did. I am. And let's throw a little bit of this on here. See what happens. Get that out of there quickly. Yeah, it's already starting to separate even more. And remember, this one is really watered down. Really watered down. So let's put a little, this is that Ecoline 700. It's like a translucent black. Let's throw some of this in there and see what happens. And then I'm going to put a little water on my brush and just kind of draw it, encourage it to mix a little more. And this black breaks out into a couple different colors, like a purpley color. Oops, don't get crazy. I want that black to mix with the bronze a little bit more. If I can have my way with it. That's looking really pretty right there. That real wispy. So I'll put some clear water down here and let it do what it wants to do. I like those real airy, kind of cloudy effects that you get. Let me pull that in. That looks actually really pretty. This is kind of mesmerizing to watch. It's just relaxing. All right, I might let that like that. Or I might add some salt. I haven't decided. Maybe just a little bit of salt. Now, sometimes salt on Yupo, it's there semi-permanently. But I'm going to put this in the thicker bits. I want you to see where this is down here, though. Where that's separated, the bronze is separated out into that blue-green, that turquoisey color. I don't know, do I want to? Yeah, I'm gonna. Just a little bit here and there. Maybe I'll do a little bit down here in this area. That's it. I should do it in 3 places. Leah, the sample's now $7. Oh, really? Oh, you know what? Go through to checkout. Sherry, you might remember. Did it say it was a price, but we just went through to checkout and then it showed 0 and you didn't have to put in any information or anything? They're definitely trying to get it out to the public, I can tell you that. But maybe the sale is over. I'm not sure how long that was good for, honestly. Hopefully everybody gets it. free was right in my price range. Okay, I'm going to grab one of those hardboards. Oh, that's good. Hang on. I'm going to grab this and try to disturb this as minimally as possible. And then I'm going to move this to the other side and just let it be. Okay. I don't trip on the way over there. I'll be eternally grateful. Hopefully the tables are level. Oh, yeah. Yeah, level enough, I guess. Okay. So now I'm going to take a thinner piece. And you know what? These may take so long to dry on Yupo, which they always do because it's non-porous, that the watercolor, let's do watercolor next. The watercolor may not dry in time. But let's do, I'll take some of my favorites right there, that little quickie palette I'll put out here. And these are the, oh man, I need my water. Where the heck's my water? Hold on. And here, if we have time, I'll show you guys some of the trades that we got. Oh, that didn't sound good when it hit. Great. Okay. Do not tell me I have lost my most favorite sprayer in the universe. Oh, here we go. We're good. Found the box. Okie dokie. I found the mother load. All right, let me fill this up. I'll be right back. Chat amongst yourselves. Alrighty. I'm going to take a thinner piece this time. 14 mil, 10 mil. Let's go 10. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to pull this back out again, so I can fit in the frame. Receive the email, free samples. And it will still work. Hang on, let me check and see if I got it. There we go. Order free samples. Let's see. $7. All right, hang on a second. Let me look at this. Restaurant pack, Polyslate samples. Yeah, I think it's a different offer now. Because the other one showed samples of all the different weights. CB! How come I never know when Patty... I try to sneak on so you don't know. I'm going to have to start sending you a note when I do it. Because that happens to you a lot. And we can't hardly function without a little CB in the chat. Don't believe it. I lie a lot. Yeah, I think it's a different offer out there now. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. So here where it says $7, it says save $7. Right? Save $7. And there's $7 crossed out for 0. So I think if you put this in your cart, then when you click on it, you get a size choice. This must have been what Bonnie was looking at. Remember when Bonnie was saying she saw big sizes? And you can get all different sizes there. I got the 8.5 by 11. So I'm not sure how many you get, like if you wanted 13 by 19. It still says 0. Poly sample includes 2 sheets based on the size selected. Yeah. Or what's it say? You may not order more than 1 sample pack. So maybe that's why it's not letting me do that. But yeah, I would try it and, look again and see if where you saw $7, it also shows that crossed out on the actual item number. Let me juice these babies up here. And then I need, I want a black. I want the black. Is that in here? Put these out of harm's way. I can try one of these blacks down here, I think. Or I'll just drop this liquid in there for the black. So let's see. I used to just lightly spray the paper. And then let's just go in here and randomly pick some colors. These are Masha granulating watercolors. And I wanted to use the granulating because when they separate, they can be magnificent on here. And I'm going to drop some Lisilinkas in there too. I'm going to mist this lightly since they've already been hydrated once a little while ago. The Serpent Green does cool things when it blends with this. It doesn't seem to be moving as easily as it does on Yupo. It was there. It's separating. Let me bring you in closer. You can see this a little orange line there where they're starting to blend. But on different paper and on Yupo, it kind of whooshes in there pretty quickly. Let's try. At this point, it doesn't really matter, does it? Oops. Oops, I made a mess. You can see this breaking out into different colors here, this green. And the green's coming into this color here. And you can make all different kind of little brush strokes like this. But it keeps moving. It doesn't sink into the cotton watercolor paper like watercolors do. This is causing the watercolors just to lay on top and just move as the pigments push each other because they stay wet for a long time on here. It takes a long time for them to dry. But can you see this, what's happening here already? That's the part I love. Let me get you in here. That's as far as we can go. But that, you can't hate that, people. So this CB, this is a sample pack that we got from TerraSlate. TerraSlate.com. Remind me afterwards and I'll send you the link. Or you can just go there if you want to go there. But they sent a sample pack that we got of 8 mil, 10 mil, 14 mil, and then another a TerraSlate and a polyslate, or two different kinds. I think it's like Yupo and TerraSkin, I think is kind of what we're working with there. But that looks really cool. So I'm going to throw in a little bit of magic. I'm going to go into the Paradise Lisilinka, the purpley blue one. And let's just get some of that working in here. And I just tap it in. And just, let's see what happens. Let's go down here. I think this is that. Is this that dark green? Yeah, this is a really pretty dark green. I'm going to go here. Now see how that's, can you see how that's drawing that green? It's pulling the metallic right into it. Some pigments push, some pigments pull. Some are really dominant. You know, much like the men I've dated in my life. I don't know if you can't see it probably. I can see a little trail of this metallic going like little veins down in through this green. I love this dark green color. I'm going to see, is this a black here? What is that? Let's try this. Oh, I didn't want to put black in there yet. Hang on, let's not try that right now. Let's go with that green. Let's go into this. I think this is Ocean. And see what happens with that pigment. See that pulling that? It's all drawing it down into this new pigment. And see all those, oh wow, look at all these other colors that are coming out and blending in there. You can't hate it, people. You can't hate it. So let's throw some of this passion fruit in here just for shits and giggles. Hopefully nobody heard me say that. This is another Lisilinka Metallic. See how that runs down into that? No, you can't see it because we're way up here. But it makes such cool striations. It reminds me of how like an aerial view of shallow water at the ocean where the waves come in and you see those ripples in the sand. It makes some similar movements in the watercolors. You know, let's shits and giggles again. Let's go back to this. That's really watered down though. I think I need the heavier. No, let's just do it. What the hell? Let me stir this up a little bit. This again is the Iridescent Bronze by Golden's, the fluid acrylic, watered down. And that lets the pigments break really easily. So this is an acrylic paint again, right? These are all watercolors that are on here so far. But do we care? No, this is why we call it mixed media. Some of those big puddles I see there, I'll try to thin those out a little bit because that'll be till Tuesday till that dries. And now I'm going to do, is that the black I want? I don't think that's the black I want. Let's try this. Let's try this. I don't know what this is, but I think it's a Schminke. And oh, see how cool that looks? Oops. Let's go with this since I dropped it in there. And this overall, you know, isn't a masterpiece, but there will be, once this stops moving and dries and granulates, there will be moments of brilliance that can be taken out of there. These are probably going to mix so many colors together. It's going to come out similar to baby poop, I would guess. Let's go over here and let's use, I have these Radiant liquid watercolors by Dr. P.H. Martin. This one's Juniper Green. That's always one of my favorites. Let's just drop that. And let's drop a couple drops of, the paper's drying up kind of where I put it. Oops. That's the violet. You know, I like those two colors together. Let's see what happens. I'm going to just put a light mist. I got this probably 18 inches above the paper. Oh, see where it misted in there and put little, well, you can't see it. Just going to have to trust me. Let's move this around a little bit. I like those blend. That makes a really cool color when they mix together. Might have put a little too much on there. Or is it ever too much? I'll just fill in the rest of the paper with that. I'm going to try to get this to move a little bit more. This to move a little bit more. I don't want to mix them too much so they become one new color. I want the them to stay the same. Heat index was 107. Oh my gosh. You're not kidding. Thank God for air conditioning. This summer has been brutal here. Our July, I called it scorched earth because our lawn looked better than it ever has going into the spring and early summer when we were getting rain just about every day. My herbs look like they should have been on a cover of an herb magazine. Not so much anymore. Oh my gosh. Yeah, not so much. It's coming back. We've had a few days of rain with the storm going through. The streets all flooded over at my mom's house again. The water was coming up in the backyard. And all the way down the street from a drain system that's probably 6 lots down from her house. It backs up down the street. So it kind of circles her house like there's a moat around it until it gets to a certain point when it breaches. But we don't think it breached this time. I hope it didn't because we just had the basement redone. And there's new owners there, obviously. But I'm just going to take some of this black. I think this might be getting a little too many colors up there because of the granulating of the different colors. I maybe overdid that. But that's okay. It's just an experiment. Let's put a little drop here, see what happens. Oh yeah, this is a pusher. I remember that pushed and moved a lot. Watch, the whole thing will turn all black. Oh yeah, that's for sure, Joan. Let's I'm wondering what. Let's try this gold since it's out here. Sometimes when you have the water puddled up on this kind of paper and you drop a heavier metallic in it, it just sinks underneath. Like that may just sink underneath the black. I'll try to splish it around so it makes it a little more interesting looking. I think we may be past that point. Yeah, let's move on, shall we? Oh, you know what? Here's this palette Xandra gave me of Jane's, of all these different golds in one of her little layer cakes. Is that what they're called? They kind of all ran together. But let's try to drop some of this in there and see what happens. Oh, that mixed with that radiant made a pretty color. You have a protective dome, CB? Is it a canopy of trees, or do you really have something going on over there that we maybe should have the government involved in? Checking it out. Oh, that's looking pretty right there, where that edge there is really illuminated with the metallic. Let's see if I can get that to happen again. Probably not. But that's okay. Put a couple drops of alcohol in it, it would go and spread it all out. Ask me how I know. See, now it's just asking me to screw with it. It's past the point of no return. So this is alcohol. Just to show you what happens. This may save it. But it's funny, when it pushes it away, it like immediately dries. Like those lighter areas, most of those are dry. This light reflecting in there is, where the hell is that? I don't know. Open and bump the camera. That's great. It's actually looking kind of cool since it was already hosed. Okay, stop. I never know when to stop. All right. Let me, I want to get out my jelly plate and print on a couple of these. But see this now? This is like dry underneath of there. And it just pushes everything to puddle up deeper around it. Let me see if I can move this without too much turmoil. I don't see that happening. See all those spots? They're kind of dry. I don't know if that's focused or not. Between this angle, the glare, and my glasses, I don't even know what room I'm in. Put this over on the drying side. Oh, this other one looks kind of cool, actually. It's still, oh. It's actually looking pretty cool, but it's still very wet. I don't want to move that again. I'll post pictures of it later when it dries, which who knows when that's going to be. But we will do a couple. Oops. Move some of this stuff out of my way. Put some of this away. I can clear out of here and make room for a quick little jelly session. Okay. This has all kind of crap on it. Who knows how that's going to work. But that's okay. That's okay. Where did oh, you know what? I think I took it with me. Nope, I just took a very little brayer with me. Where the hell's my favorite brayer? Alright, well, oh, there it is. Sheesh. Okay, now let me grab a couple of paints. Alright. Just a few staples. Just to make a couple of print. Oh, I'm going to have to get out another bottle of that. That's for sure. Okay. So this, get that out of my way. Give me a piece of deli. A little roll-off sheet over here. Gosh, I haven't jelly printed in so long. Now, Leah, did you have, I see you ordered the 13 by 19 sample pack. Was that still free? So I get it back out. Let's get out there. Okay. Oh, you know what I want to do? Let's see how this works on here, on this papers. This one's 14. I don't think I'm going to use something that heavy just yet. Let's use one of the thin ones. This is the 5 mil. And I'm going to use this wet. I just stopped. Did you hear me stop? Because I had an idea, and then I said, oh, no, hell no, that's not going to work. Let's just see. Let's just do something familiar. Okay. Oh, my goodness. That's not going to work because the shaker is frozen up. Probably the acrylic paint locked another one up on me. Is this one going to spray? Oh, there we go. A little spray on there, even though it's going kind of wild. All right, I'm going to let that sit on there and separate. And see, it's already separating. It already looks like it's teal. It's that pigment's going away. So what I'm going to do, well, let's see. You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to print on the logoed side with this one because I don't care how this comes out. I just want to see how it acts compared to other papers on the jelly plate. So what happens is that green blue, I forget what it is, PG7 maybe, that's mixed in with the bronze pigment, that separates and floats to the top. And if I could flip this and show you the bottom, you'd see all the bronze pigment underneath of that. So when I do this, it's probably going to smear because this is non-porous. It's going to smear and be a green smear with a little bit of in that pattern all over to be picked up on the next pull. Let's see. I'm making that up. Am I right? Am I wrong? We just don't know anymore. So this is going to smush all that out, right? Because it's just blobs of water sitting up there. Of course, nothing bleeds through because it's basically, it's non-porous. Oops, way to go. Wow, that's a mess, but that actually could look kind of cool at some point, maybe next week. I'm going to hit some of that edge over here where it's puddled up and let that run down this way. See, that's just extra, extra watery. But something over that may be genius. I love how I say that. I know I don't mean it. Okay, I'm going to take some of this off of here. And see, that really did. See, that's so watered down. The only place that really showed the metal under it, see all that bronze right there on the end where that puddled? There is some little flecks in there. I shouldn't be so harsh to judge so quickly. So let's let me think of what stencil. Ouch. Let's just use something with a lot of openings like this. And look how that looks, how cool that looks on there. You can't hate that watered down bronze, I'm telling you. Let's do a little bit of black. And a little bit of this PBO Dyna color that's iridescent green blue. It's a shifter. And it looks pretty cool with black. It's a different viscosity though, so we'll see how it blends. We might end up with soup or worse. Let's see that different color coming out against the black. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just roll that off one here. And now let's put this down. I didn't really think this all the way through. Let's just put that there. This isn't near dry enough, but let's get ballsy and let's just do this piece on the logo side. All right, let's see what we got. Wow. See how that picks up real puckery because it's non-porous? Which you could possibly use to your advantage somehow. Let me grab up a piece of this printmaking paper here. And let's pick up the rest of this on here. They're all mesmerized, CB, at what magic they're about to witness here. That's it. Magic. All right. See, there's moments of genius in there. Like, for instance, right there. See a little bit of the bronze getting picked up in there. I don't hate that, actually. I don't. But now, let's do this. See, I wish this was dry, which it won't be for quite some time. So we're going to have to make another plan. Let's do that. And let's just dab off some of this paint on here. Let's see what we got here. Work with me, CB. Well, that's a background to add more to. That is nothing significant, trust me. Trust me when I tell you. So let's, what else do I want to put on there? It's like my brain won't even fire thinking about jelly printing. Let's see. Oh, some of my stencils I'm looking for are still packed. That's why I can't find them. Let's use one of Jackie's that she made me. You guys know Jackie Jimerson. She made me that one many moons ago. And let's use this one for something different. Okay. Yeah, this is going to take till, I think this is on the Tuesday schedule. I guess I could use my heat gun, on a cool setting because I think it might twerk that. I think a CB, I think a twerking. I can't help it. It might, you know, curve the paper up a little bit since it's plastic. Let's try this. A little bit more black for this. Let's see. I think black is always the easiest, nicest color to roll. It's the most cooperative, no matter what brand it is. So let's do this. Let's put this one down. And let's pick up that black. I can't even touch that other one yet. So that's printmaking paper. Ah, crap. All right, let's just grab another piece of that. I'm not sure I like gel printing on the Yupo. I'm going to try to clean all the holes of this stencil out and get a nice clean print on here, like so. But I'm going to go back with this sheet here and try to pick up more of that. I'm going to try to do what I used to call a patina print. See all that other little paint? Oh, you probably can't see. Just going to have to trust me. I used to make many moons ago. I got the PBO out here. That's what reminded me about it. So what you do is you do a print with black and see what else all came off of there. Get that off of there. And then take this off. Clean that off a little bit before it all dries. And then over this, a little bit of the PBO. Brayer that. So that's only going to come through the holes, right? And the rest is going to be black. You dig? And then I go back and just the weight of the brayer, let that pull off excess paint. You can see that design a little bit better when it takes off that little skim layer. And now, let's take a piece of this Yupo. See how this works on here. I don't know if I'm calling it Yupo. This is the 8 mil. I don't know if this is going to schmutz like the other one did because it's wet on plastic. But on regular old paper, it usually looks pretty cool. So we'll see. I should have picked it up with black paper. That would have really reflected that PBO color in the background. But whatever. We're here now. We're committed. Should be committed. Joan, I know it's getting late for you over there. Don't feel like you got to hang in. I'm going to wrap it up after another 1 or 2 pieces of this. Oh, that looks kind of cool in there. Oh, wow. Look at all those little, like, bubbles in the print. I have no idea where that came from. It's got to have something to do with the paper, but see? It looks kind of cool. It's really obscure. Mama don't hate it, but that's, again, not what was in my little head. But you can kind of see that flash of the PBO in there. See the shift of that? But this, my friends, looks a little cool. I'm going to let that sit for a minute or two. But look how bubblicious that ended up. Can't explain. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. Now, let's try to, hang on a minute. Let me try to take advantage of this situation right here. And trying not to get a paper cut. I'm going to take a piece of my black bond paper because there's a lot of metallic in here. But I'm going to put more metallic on it. I'm going to put a little bit of bronze on there and maybe a little bit of, oh Lord. Wow. Don't fret, I have another bottle. But I just want to put a little bit of that. And then I'm going to use this. It does look raindroppy. The color, just like I like my coffee, I like my men tight and buff. Oops, well, I've been a little too tight or too buff. Now let's mix these two up. That's way too much came out of there. Good Lord, girl. What the hell are you doing? I just want to mix a little bit of that up for whatever pokes through those holes. Okay, well, let's go with a piece of, oh, I have a big bottle in the drawer with the seal not broken yet. Fear not, and a tube. And some other sprayers. This might be a good piece of collage paper. I want to get really encourage this bad boy to pick up all the paint. It may be a total turd, but we just try. That's all we can do is try. Oh, I wanted to throw some alcohol inks on one of those papers. So we'll do after this print when I clean off the plate. Maybe. Huh. Not what I was expecting. I didn't expect those big blobs of the bronze laying there. But if you picture this torn up in a collage, there are moments of brilliance in there, like right in that area. Right? I don't ever hardly use a full sheet anyway. Down in here, you see the shadow of those characters. Just a little bit in there. Tight meant drunk. Oh, I missed that. I missed that generation. Yeah, that didn't come out like I thought. What is this blob that's there like permanently? Let me see what I can do about that. Okay, I'm going to do one. Oh, crap, I gotta get it. See? Never fear. Ah, crap, it didn't pick up the little plastic bit. Separated. Okay, I'll use this little pokey tool. Come on. Well, there ain't no way getting around it. You just got to get in there and rip it off. Rip off the Band-Aid. Okay. Add water to the other bottle. Oh, yeah, I know. I wish I'd have thought to take that with me. Thankfully, Claire brought me in some bronze to use on those tissue. Oh, I'll show you guys those tissue papers, how they came out. Um, let's try a little bit of this on here. And I'm going to use this one. This is a stencil girl stencil. I think it's called Tokyo. No. What the hell? It's by Natalie Kalbach. It's an L760, but I think it's called, I don't see the name on it here. I thought for sure it was called Tokyo. You'll see why. There you can see the design better. I'm going to put that over top of this just for giggles, see what happens. Again, this is the Terra Slate, so who knows. Pam, I am 67 and a half, as my mother used to say. I was born in 1957. That's what my mom used to always say. She wanted credit for every half she made it. And that kind of cooled it up a little bit. Now those little bits look even more interesting. Hey, Norma. Nice to see you here. Okay, let's get rid of that. This one, not all that special. I'm going to see if it picks up a ghost of that bronze in this design. Very faint ghost print on there. Just enough to add another layer of interest into a print gone bad. All right, now let's... I didn't think much would come off of there. That's usually the case with the metallics. They dry so fast. Now, can I do something with this on here? Okay, just to be... I'm going to use just a little bit of this. This could be crazy. Crazy good, crazy bad, waste of paint. You know, whichever. But I want to just have a little bit of a layer, thin layer of this, enough to pull it off the plate and add it over top of this print I did to clean that holes of that one stencil where I picked this up. And I don't think this green blue is I think it's like semi-transparent, so some of that should show through with the gold, the bronze rather. Oh, wonder where that picked that up. Oh, from my sleeve that I put in this one. It's still wet. That's great. Tight and cheap, I do remember. I'd rather think of the tight and buff. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I just pronounce this different. Tight and buff. This may be a, oops, tore it. Great. It's getting better all the time. Time for me to wrap her up, people. Well, it's not horrible. Again, was not what was in my head. I tell you what, if we could get what's in my head on paper, we'd be doing it. We'd be doing it. That's a rare occurrence, but that's okay. Won't deter me. All right, I'm going to put this away before I hurt myself or someone else. And I'm going to grab one more piece of this 1410 poly. Let's do the 8 mil. And I'll grab a few alcohol inks and just kind of, oh, Jesus, just kind of splash them on there. Oh, you know what I'll do? Hold on. I'll use this. And I'll just throw alcohol inks on here and let it dry. That always comes out kind of cool. What the heck? Lordy, lordy. Okay. All right, get that out of there. Get that out of there. All right, so let's just start grabbing some random alcohol inks and just start throwing them in here. So I'm going to get my alcohol sprayer. So I don't know where my blending stuff is at the moment. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to spray this first and then lay the stencil down so it would stick, which I did not do. But let's just do this. I don't have to try to get out of here before the fumes take me out. Oh, lordy. The little fingers aren't going to open that one. Alcohol, Charmaine. I just sprayed alcohol, 91% alcohol, to try to move it a little bit. When I used to do this, I used to try to get in every little hole. I don't do that anymore. Thanks. That's my that's one of my masks for my eye stencils called Geometry or Geometric. I think it's Geometric. So this may or may not even work because I didn't spray the alcohol underneath. I tell you, my forgetfulness is becoming a thing. Not a good thing. So I'm going to take, I can't resist anything shiny. I'm going to take, this is Pinata Brass. Not all the way under. I can see where they're pulling, that it looks like it's going to stay pretty good. But usually you spray the UPO with alcohol, then lay the stencil in, and that kind of sucks the stencil down. And then what comes underneath of it looks very watercolory. All right, I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Oh, a little bit. Yeah, that's what I said, a little bit. And just, you know, here and there. This one looks cool, but that's the stencil. The mask. Okay, I'm not going to do too much of that because that will take it over and obliterate everything. No, this is alcohol ink. This is all alcohol ink. That's all I'm putting on this one. Let me put this away. Oh, boy. Put that away. And, oh, I wanted to reach up here. Sat too long, old gal. That's not it. Somewhere up here, I have. Oh, here. Hang on. Hold the phone. Let me see if I can show you somewhere in here. Put that out of the way. I'll post pictures of these when they dry. Oh, this is old stuff here. Hold on. This was a class I took. Seems like 100 years ago. I thought they were mixed in with this because it's all alcohol ink on Yupo. Or not. What the hell? Hold on. Okay, not there. Hang on a minute. Now that just ticks me off. I know they're around here somewhere. Oh, deeper in the pile. No. Well, as you sit there literally watching ink dry. Oh, hang on. I think they're in here. Trying to outsmart myself. Like if I was you, where would I put these? Oh, here we go. Ha! What do you know? That worked. Which is scarier than you might know. Put it carefully, flip it over, and put. No, not till. No, you don't want to pick that up until it dries. Trust me. Ask me how I know. So here's some I did. This is Terraskin paper. I can tell by how soft it is. But that's the paper that's made with rocks. And they were done with just multicolors with my stencils where you put alcohol ink down. I mean, yeah, alcohol down first. Lay the stencil or mask on it. And then add them. And see how wispy watercolory it comes out looking? That's one too. That's one of my stencils as well. That was alcohol inks on Terraskin. This one, see where I mean the gold goes bad? It's just kind of blobs there. So hopefully that's not what happens there, but it probably will be. I always thought this one was cool. It's my poppy stencil, and I dropped in red and green, and it looked real watercolory. See how wispy it gets because it would run under the stencil where the alcohol ink was. I always liked that one. Oh, look. What do you know? Pictographs. Oh, this must have been my pictograph phase. Right. Here's a green one. Wonder who did that in those colors. It's hideous. This one actually is hideous. That did not come out as planned, and I don't know what the black is. I don't know how we got to that. But this, that's what all of these are. Here's another poppy one. Poppy. Oh, that one got even more watercolory behind it. But that one I put the nose of the alcohol ink right in the stencil and had it fill up each little section. And then you guys probably recognize these. Here's a badass. This is Yupo. It's heavier, but that's a badass stencil on Yupo. And for those of you who don't know, Badass is actually a brand that is carried on the iStencil website. So I just feel better that I actually found them. Of course, I laid them into the piece that's still wet. That's okay. Worse things can happen than that. And they have or they will. Woo-hoo. Okay. Oh, I did find some stuff I've been looking for, though. So that's cool. Okay. All right, kids. I am going to, actually, you know what I'll do first? Where the hell's my phone? Here it is. Buried under a few layers. I'm going to try to take a picture of that first one that I did on the Yupo with just a little bit of salt. And we'll see how that's doing. It's got a huge puddle in the middle of it still. And you probably won't be able to see anything on my phone because of the glare. But I'll show you anyway. And this one here is kind of... I think our deep freeze has a little something loose over there. Yeah, I hear it rattling a little bit. All right, here's the last one we did. See, some of those that we even put the alcohol in are kind of moving. Stuff's moving over them. It doesn't look the same. But here is the first one. You can see the salt down here, up here, and over here a little bit. See those black bottom? That's the salt granules. That's still my favorite, just because of how wispy and loosey-goosey it looks. It's very loosey-goosey. Do you have a badass stenciler too? I do too. Okay, so that's where we ended up. This one's on the 8mm Terra slate paper. That's just the printmaking paper. That's just a catch-all sheet. That's on the black paper with the shadows of that Tokyo stencil in there. Here's the first one on the 5mm paper. I mean, parts of it look kind of cool, but I don't know. That stencil wasn't the right stencil. Oh no, that's the pickup one. This is the one on printmaking paper that did come out kind of cool. See all that mishmash of the colors and the bronze that it picked up underneath of there? That's to be continued. That's nothing there. And oh, I did want to show you guys this real quick. How the heck am I going to do this? Everything's surrounding me is wet. All right, we'll do what we can. You won't be able to see the whole pages, but I made a bunch of these. I gave a good number of them away from my retreat because I had the room to spread out. I'm not going to be able to show you this. I'm going to have to move this. Oh, no. Hold on. Actually, a lot of that's dry already, but not enough to pull it. these away if there is such a place down here. Okay. All right. That's almost dry. I don't know what my idea was with that, but oh yeah. Okay, so I took sheets of that wet. Can I zoom this out anymore? The wet strength tissue, and I what the hell? Crumpled them up. I had trash bags over one of the tables at the retreat. Balled up some wet strength. Here we go. Balled up some wet strength tissue, and splattered inks and paints, sprays, all kind of stuff. So, and this was a piece of black tissue. Again, in my head, this was going to be way cooler. It's okay. It's not, whatever. It's not all that. But I do like some of these. And Claire brought me in some bronze so I could really get them on. But look the way this fell into the crackles and separated the teal coming out of that bronze. I don't hate that. So these, of course, will be ripped up into bits that go in collages. And I had to do some with purple and teal in it, of course. Right? And the backs of some of these, not this one, but the backs, like this piece here looks kind of cool. But the backs of some of those, depending on how wet it was and how puckery it got. Remember, I'll just be using little slivers of this here and there, not using the whole sheet. But yeah, that's not one of my favorites, actually. In my head, it's going to be better. This one crumpled and has some pretty cool textures in it. I just crumple the wet tissue, flatten it back out a little bit, spray it, douse it like soaked with water, and then start spraying stuff. And this was a dropper bottle of an ink. The lavender is a iridescent violet, one of those. And see, that's what the back looks like. With some of them, the back looks pretty cool. You can see where that green came through on the back from the bronze. Some of them I left kind of more white space on them just so they wouldn't be so jumbled up with colors. Add some white back into some, black into some. This one I liked how this I think was a copper Oliver. What's his name? Something Oliver, who had little white squeeze bottles of powders that were kind of like they're watercolor, but they were dry pigments. But then he came out with metallic ones that were liquid in those little white bottles. What the hell is his name? Ron Oliver? Ken Oliver? Anyway, it was the copper one, and that's the one. This one spread out a little bit thicker, but it's kind of stayed where it was. Like the pigment was heavier and it didn't float around as much. But I kind of like that streakiness of that copper. This one, there's moments in here. Like over here, this is kind of cool over in here on this side. And there's bits in here that are lovely. What's the back look like? See how the back looks like sections and they look kind of shiny? I don't know why it does that. But some of them do it and some of them don't. Ken Oliver. Thank you, CB. Wealth of all things, art of knowledge, wealth of knowledge. Kind of like parts of that on the back. Oh, I think I see a penis in there, but we'll just move along. One's got to pop up every once in a while. That's what he said. Oh, somebody stop me. So I don't know what was happening over here. I think the gold I put on here mixed with the bronze breaking apart. But look at some of these, the metallics over here. They're like a green gold. Can you see it? It's kind of hard to show. It's very cumbersome to try to get that little bits on the camera. I don't hate that. Look like hot mess when you were making them. Oh, nice, CB. They do, actually. She is not wrong. This one, I kind of like this one. It almost looks like feather shapes or penis shapes, depending on what your eye sees. I was trying to distract with the feather thing, but that's kind of a lie. And that's the back of that one. That's kind of dreary. Nothing fun there. But you know, there are moments of genius in there. And it's not skill. Trust me. You just wet it, soak it, wrinkle it, and start throwing crap on it. And it just has its way with the paper. And whatever happens, happens. So trust me when I tell you. It's not that, the level of difficulty is not there. So anyway, all right, kids, I am going to head upstairs. Again, one more look at the Lisilinka new set, the Tropical Sunset watercolors. And I'm going to wrap it. Here they are on white. Sunset on the upper left, the orangey one. Watermelon, passion fruit. Second row is Paradise, Caribbean, Lagoon, Sunrise, and this odd one down here is not in that set, but Alex, when he was on with us earlier, was saying that it falls between the Lagoon and the Caribbean colors above it. And here are the same ones on that black. This is just bond paper. This isn't even watercolor paper. But these are spectacular. It's Lisilinka, Lisilinka. That's the same ones. And they are the best metallic watercolors I've ever used, and they are as brilliant on white as they are on black. A lot of metallics on white paper, as you guys probably know, wash out and have a gray tinge to them. But not these, people. Not these. So there you go. I'm going to go try to figure out what dinner's going to look like. And I hopefully will see you guys again sooner than it has been. Been a little busy, but I'm hoping to get into a schedule where we can get kind of regulated. So thanks for hanging in with me, guys. I appreciate it. Next time I'll show the stuff that we got for trades at the retreat. Xandra pretty much already showed all of it. And try to stay cool out there for those in the heat index zone over 100, triple digits. All right, kids. As soon as I figure out how to shut her down, I'm shutting her down. There we go. Bye. Thank you.